About a week or so ago, Five Nights at Freddy's celebrated its 10th anniversary. Yes, it's already been 10 years. I'm getting way too old for this, man. Goddamn. For his anniversary, Scott Cawthon made a Twitter account, RIP, may he rest peacefully, where he announced/revealed a bunch of upcoming FNAF things. So what I thought would be a cute thing to do is to rank every main thing that was released or announced, which is a total of 9 things. There was more, but these are the main ones. So let's not goof around too much and just jump straight into it, right? Like, you know how a tier list works. I really don't need to explain it to you. Let's just jump into it. Alright, we're starting with My Pop Goes, which is a small prologue game to Pop Goes Arcade. In case you don't know, Pop Goes is an officially licensed FNAF spin-off series. I don't think it's canon to the main storyline, but rather I guess a what-if scenario. I'm not completely sure, it's still a little vague to me. It basically takes the first 3 original FNAF games and branches out from it to make its own story/narrative, which is rather cute. And My Pop Goes is basically a Game & Watch game. You know, the little Nintendo handheld thing before the Game Boy. Yeah, it's really basic. I feel like the big selling points to Game & Watch games is that it is a very physical and tangible thing. You can just whip it out on a whim. Having it be digital makes it a lot easier to distribute, and you can add a bunch of extra bells and whistles like Steam achievement support and more, but it definitely loses some of the charm of it. And gameplay wise, I mean, it's Game & Watch FNAF edition. The main mode is this little resource management thing that is rather difficult, but after one game you've experienced all it has to offer. There are some cute mini games, some interesting and spooky secrets, but it really isn't anything special. But to be fair, it isn't trying to be. It's just a small prologue, only $5, so I'll give it a C tier, which in my eyes means it's okay. I enjoyed it, thumbs up. But before we continue, this video is sponsored by FlexiSpot, baby, and their C7 chair. Do you see this piece of crap? This thing sucks! Look, okay, I know a lot of you, including me, spend quite a bit of time behind a computer, and I also know a handful of you aren't sitting correctly. I'm looking at you. Go fix your posture, pronto. Your posture is very, very important, and a good office chair is simply a must, and the C7 is the perfect chair for anyone. You don't want to end up looking like this now, do you? No matter if you like sitting up straight, laying down, or even sitting cross-legged, the C7 will make sure that your posture is always on point while staying comfortable because of its self-adaptive dynamic system. The C7 basically moves along with you, and it's great. Up, down, back, forwards, left, right. You can recline it. It has a headrest, a backrest, a leg rest, and all of it is completely adjustable. You can tweak the C7 to perfection with ease. It is designed for all heights, supports up to 300 pounds, you can sleep in it comfortably, and it's available in both mesh or foam options, whatever suits your needs. FlexiSpot is so confident in the product that they are offering a 30-day free return policy and a 10-year warranty. 10 years is insane. So what do you think you are doing? Go to flexispot.com and use code C750 to get a $50 discount on your C7 chair. That is code C750 for $50 off. I'm not sugarcoating it, but you have to take your posture seriously, and FlexiSpot is here to help. My mom has back problems, and it is not a joke, okay? You need to take this stuff seriously. Big thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video, and let's just jump back into the Freddy FNAF Bear schmuck. The joy of creation is amazing, man. This is exactly what I'm thinking of when someone says FNAF. I feel like the series got kinda lost in the sauce with Security Breach, which feels like a generic run away from the creepy monster. Ooh, Roxy looks so scary. And then you clip through the wall because the game feels like it. Yay! In my eyes, FNAF has always been about resource management. You're stuck in a room and your goal is to either complete a simple objective or survive while maintaining a bunch of schmuck. Almost every FNAF game does this, and it's a good concept that you can still do a lot of interesting stuff with. And what the Joy of Creation does is it makes what worked about the original FNAF games and puts a bit of a more modern spin on it by making you walk around the office, which is still really cramped and small, so that feeling of always being watched around every corner is very much still there. The 4 main animatronics are here in full glory, and each one has their own way of dealing with them, but the game doesn't outright tell you how to, so you basically have to figure it out, and when you eventually do figure it out, it feels really satisfying and rewarding. It's challenging, but not overly difficult. The atmosphere and hidden secrets/Easter eggs are great. The mechanics are really well fleshed out. It's good. It is genuinely really good. And it's only a demo. I'm hoping the full game doesn't just take place in this one office, but rather multiple locations, each with different mechanics. Because if that is the case, this might be the best FNAF game of all time, and it won't even be close. If you want to see me play this game, I posted a video about it on my second channel, so go watch that after this video. Easy S tier. It's the best thing out of this whole anniversary, in my opinion. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with this one. This one is quite hard to review in my eyes, so I'm just gonna keep it simple, okay? FNAF VIP is an interactive novel that you can get for free on Amazon. It's basically a Telltale game in book form. I know that there are a lot of FNAF books out there, but I'm not big into reading myself because of my dyslexia, so I'm not super interested to dive into this. I zoomed through it a bit, and you know, it looked alright, so I'll give it a C tier, I guess, but please take it with a grain of salt, okay? Back in 2018, FNAF YouTuber Dawko interviewed Scott Cawthon and asked him a bunch of funky questions. This year, he's back with even more gabagoo. I recommend you just go watch the interview yourself. It's on Dawko's YouTube channel because it's a fun, interesting watch, especially if you're really into FNAF. I like FNAF, but I'm not super deep into the sauce, but even I enjoyed it. Not much more to say about it, but it was interesting, so I'll give it a B tier and a thumbs up. This was definitely the funniest announcement by far. For this, they literally showed a PNG saying FNAF is coming to Dead by Daylight. That is it. But before this was announced, everyone online, including me, was gaslighting themselves into believing FNAF would come to Fortnite because on the very next day there was a Fortnite update. They also added this emote to the files about a month before all of this, which, I mean, like, come on, of course people are going to think it's FNAF related. And I was prepared, man. I had my V-Bucks ready, I stayed up all night, and then BAM! A PNG saying it's coming to Dead by Daylight in a year. And I'm not even mad. I think this is a crazy good fit for collaboration, and I just think the whole situation is funny as hell, and just for that, I'm putting it in A tier. Please collaborate with Fortnite though, because it would be funny as hell, and also use code FOCO in the item shop so I can earn an extra 2 cents. Steel Wool announced that they are working on another FNAF game called The Secret of the Mimic, which was a character you saw at the very end of Ruin. Yeah, that's it. Not sure if it's going to be a VR game or not, but it can't be worse than Security Breach, right? Right? Although that would make for a funny video. I'll give it an A tier. I'm decently excited for it, if I'm honest. Okay, Yeah, this one sucks. 5 Laps at Freddy's is really bad. It says it's just a demo, but this doesn't feel like a demo. This is a borderline pre-alpha build. This shit is unironically worse than Race with Ryan. Yes, I went there and I 100% mean it. It's such a crappy and just cheap game, especially for a kart racer, which is a genre that is filled with cheap garbage. But let's start from the top, okay? When you boot up the game, you get to pick a character that isn't even done loading before you see them. They also just stand there with no animation. There is a class meter. What does that even mean, class meter? You then pick a card, pick a track, and whoosh, you're off to the race. And then 1 minute in, you figure out that this game is a broken mess. It looks like crap, it controls like crap, and it is buggy. It's really, really buggy. But what if all of this was on purpose? Think about it, okay? FNAF has had a rich history of crappy arcade games. Take Cake to the Children, Midnight Motorist, Happiest Day, Mangle's Quest. What if they made this game bad on purpose, packaged it into a demo to bait you into thinking it's a piece of trash, but when the full game releases, it ends up being something bigger that intertwines with Glitch Trap, for example, or it breaks the fourth wall in some way or form, like Kinito Pets. If the game ends up just being this, a really sad and just bad kart racer, it's pathetic, but if the devs are ahead of the curve and pull a fast one on us, this could be great. Still putting it in F tier though, because bro, this demo is awful. Again, I had more fun playing Race with Goddamn Ryan. Warning, actual game alert. This one is alright. Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit is a very different type of FNAF game. Instead of being a resource management, survive the night thing, it is a full-on adventure. You play as Oswald, a young kid who finds a ball pit in a place called Jeff's Pizza that once he jumps into, teleports him to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza back to the year 1985, the year this took place. Your dad basically gets kidnapped here by Spring Bonnie, and you have to try and save him by solving simple puzzles while running and hiding from spooky animatronics who are out to get you. Yeah, that's the game. If I'm honest, like, it's not amazing. I like the visual aesthetic of it, especially the cutscenes. They have a very charming look, but the gameplay is collect stuff to open up other stuff, and the obstacles they put between that isn't really engaging and rather boring. The main animatronics are here, but besides Chica, the other ones do basically nothing. Freddy sometimes opens a door, only on night 4, that's it, and Foxy's not even in the game, which is probably because of some lore thing, but like, come on man, really? That is so lame. It's just overall kinda dull. You run around looking for the next thing to interact with while you avoid Chica and Spring Bonnie. That is 75% of the gameplay. The other 25% is story garbage, which is rather interesting, but in classic FNAF style, it is confusing as hell and you need to watch 200 game theory videos to understand what is going on. You can, however, play the arcade machines, which was my biggest criticism of Security Breach. FNAF has a rich history of crappy mini-games. Make me play some of them, and Into the Pit has one where you play as Nicocado Avocado. Masterpiece. Overall, it's just I really wanted to like it since it tries to do something new with the FNAF franchise, but a lot of it just kind of falls flat on its face. It's not horrible, I had some fun, but again, it's just dull. Some of you are going to hate me for this, but sorry broskies. So the release of Into the Pit was supposed to be the final announcement of this anniversary, but there was secretly a 9th thing sprinkled in at the very end about the second FNAF film. Now, I did see the first one together with Cyber and my cousin, and we all enjoyed it. It was fun. It also ended up being a huge success and made almost $300 million in revenue, so of course they are going to make a sequel. And throughout the anniversary, between all the announcements, Scott tweeted a few behind the scenes bits and bobs about the second FNAF movie, which were cute, don't get me wrong, but the last thing that was tweeted was this. 4 script pages from said movie, but there is a catch. Only one of them is real, the other 3 are fake. The one that sticks out the most to me is page 18, because it sounds stupid as hell. Why is the military getting involved in a FNAF movie? Like, why? But the most likely version to be real is the 4th one, and most people also seem to agree with this. Fun little extra, nothing special. B tier, I think that's fair. And that's it. That is everything from the FNAF Anniversary Ranked. Overall, I like this event. It was a fun way to dish out the games and announcements, and I hope more companies try to do something similar to this in the future. The only bad thing was FLAF, which is a stupid name by the way, but the rest was either good or okay but still enjoyable. Also, I didn't mention this, but it should be obvious. This ranking is just my opinion. If you really like Into the Pit, that's okay. I'm not going to strangle you over it. But yeah, that's it. First video after creating a Patreon, so here are a bunch of funky names. Please subscribe so I don't have to download Security Breach for the 10th time to get footage. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye guys, take care. Bye 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 bye.